Okay, I think now I'm okay. I had to stop my first recording so I could make this second recording. Can you guys confirm if I'm on Astrology KRS Live? Am I on Astrology KRS Live? Yes, I am on Astrology KRS Live. Okay. Alright. So guys, we're going to be discussing our October horoscope. Our October horoscope. HORRORSCOPE. If you guys don't know, if you live in somewhere outside of US, we just had the biggest mass shooting happen in United States with 450 people injured, 50 dead, 12 on life support, and there pretty much are going to be more deaths. So number could go up to like 75 or something. However, I'm going to give my 2 cents in this. For my intuition. I do not feel this was done by a one single loner 64-year-old man. I smell some co-op government involvement in this. I smell it. I don't know. It's like, when you hear the news and you see the situations and suddenly there's this spark that happens in your head. Like, no, this cannot be done by a lone gunman. So I just feel like there's more to it than meets the eye. And so this is never trust news. Never trust news. Never trust your own government. Ever. You gotta just understand the truth through your soul and through your own research. Because we're living in a times where a government will do certain actions just so they can pass some agenda. They can pass some laws. They can restrict more of their citizens. That's why all these things are done. So I just don't see. Sometimes you just know, yeah, it's some person who did this. Right now I don't, because I remember watching Fox News. Was it Fox News or some news? Where the reporter was saying that this does not seem like done by a lone person. This seems like done by professionals. Maybe 2 professionals, and suddenly they cut them off. And they went back somewhere else. And if you look on the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, there are two windows that have gunshots. I don't believe this guy was shooting from one side, ran onto the other, and then shot. I think there were 2 people shooting. And when the gunshots went off, the firecracker-like gunshots, you could hear 2 different streams of gunshots coming. So either this guy was highly mechanical, like Walter White from Breaking Bad, where through the remote he had the gun. Otherwise, I'm smelling something here. I don't trust it at all. So anyway, let's get started with our October horoscope. Okay, so what do we have here? Guys, I can't share my screen on live, and I just realized it again. I should have recorded this separately. You know what? Let me see here. And I know many people say, "Oh, you're using a cell phone picture. You can't even show us a proper image." Well, guess what? I can't share my screen. That's why I have to take this stupid picture. My God. Alright. So, this is the horoscope of our current October month. Okay. That's the... Well, hold on. Jesus. That's the horoscope of October. Okay, it's an Aries ascendant chart. And Rahu's in the 4th house. Venus, Mars are in the 5th house. Mercury, Sun are in the 6th house. Jupiter is in the 7th house. Saturn is in the 8th house in Scorpio. Ketu is in the 10th house in Capricorn. Moon is in the 11th house in Aquarius. And Venus, Mars are in Leo. Mercury, Sun are in Virgo. Jupiter is in the sign of Libra. And Rahu is in Cancer. So I think that's it. Yeah. So knowing this in October, first of all, as you know, this month Saturn is going to enter towards the end of this month. In October, Saturn is going to enter the sign of Sagittarius, and we'll look at that too. But as you can see, Venus, Mars are in the sign of Leo, and especially in the nakshatra Purva Phalguni. This naturally brings great passion and interest towards socializing. A person wants to socialize. Even a person who might be depressed, even a person who's a loner, like me, who's very introverted, like me, wants to socialize, wants to go out and meet people, wants to just hang out. And it's so funny. I don't know if you guys are on my Facebook. I went to this piano bar. Not piano bar, what am I saying? It's a fine dining restaurant with a person playing a piano, and my wife couldn't go because we have 2 kids. And if we take them to a very high class restaurant, no, they're not going to like that. People sitting there will not like that. So I went to this particular place. Let me see if I can show you guys that. Yeah, let me, here. I went to this just 2 days ago. The guy's playing a piano. That's my martini. So I was suddenly in a mood. I'm like, and I went yesterday too. I went to MGM just to have lunch, to the casino in DC. I went there, had myself oysters and a beer, and then came back. So that mode of socializing comes in. Mars and Venus, especially Mars is passion. Venus is entertainment. There's this passion for wanting to just be entertained and to socialize. Especially in Purva Phalguni Nakshatra, a person always wants to know people, connect with people, you know, and in a socialized setting where you can have fun and drink. Even if you don't drink, you want to just, you know, have some entertainment happening in your life. So wherever the sign of Leo is, and you got to remember about my monthly horoscopes, I don't go into each ascendant because I don't have time. I don't go into each moon sign because I don't have time. Okay, you guys are lucky enough to for me to make this video, because first of all, you got to understand, you got to read your horoscope from the ascendant, which is your karmic pattern. That's why you're born with the ascendant, right? So that means planets going from your ascendant in certain house holds a very strong, important piece. From the moon, whatever your moon sign is in the birth chart, make that the ascendant. Read the planetary transits from there. That's the things that are going to happen. So whichever house Mars and Venus are in Leo in your particular chart, you are going to see things happening in that house related to passion, entertainment, romance, love. So, and I don't like just spoon feeding. I mean, there's too many channels for that. I just don't, number one, I don't have time. Number two, I don't want to just spoon feed things, because this is about you knowing it. This is like people say, well, couple, you need to spoon feed us because we don't know astrology. We really don't care for that. Well, I'm like, okay, so do you care for knowing 2 + 2? Or what is 5 × 5? That's something you learned, right? You don't use it, but you learned it. And you feel it's important for you to learn it, right? So why not this? What is the different here? This is not fortune telling. Astrology is not fortune telling. It's not even like predictions in a way. It's to guide your soul to its proper spot. That's what you get here. So this is not going to be a cup of tea for everybody. I'm like an English tea. Only a few people like it. The elegant ones. So then we also have Mercury Sun conjunct in the sign of Virgo in creating a Buddha-Aditya yoga. Pretty close one right now. Because Sun just entered Virgo on September 15th all the way to October 14th. In the Vedic astrology system, Sun is going to be in the sign of Virgo. And Virgo It's all about dealing with daily work routines, daily work life, looking at things in a more minute detail. This is all about perfection, perfecting ourselves. This is all about knowing what wrong that we are doing that we need to make right. So especially in mundane astrology, like if we're just looking at your own astrology, wherever the sign of Virgo is in your particular chart, you're going to make sure that those particular things come out in a more detailed manner. Those particular things, you're going to become very detailed regarding the things that are happening in that particular house. So let's say if your sun is in the ascendant, you have a Virgo ascendant, or moon sign is in Virgo, sun is going directly over it. That means you're going to make sure that you dress up in a very professional manner. You're going to put forth of effort towards your health. Suddenly you're going to want to buy some health medicine. You want to go to a doctor and to see how is everything happening. Because sun is vitality, sun is energy, sun is, it's part of your soul's motor. So here, coming in your ascendant or whatever house it's in, is going to make you look into details into those houses. If it's in your third house, you're going to make sure that your communication is direct, it's pure, it's detail oriented, and it's pretty much without flaws. But the thing is, Mercury and Sun are always near each other. But especially Mercury and Sun together causes a Buddhaditya Yoga of intelligence, of person who can analytically look at things. Now, the only time they will do that is if Sun, Mercury are looking at your ascendant, third, fifth house, or ninth house. That's where the intelligence really works. Right now, it won't really matter if it's not transiting those particular houses, because first house is you, your physical self, who you are, your brain, your head is the first house. Third house is your ego. Like, oh, I know this. I don't need a guru for this. I did it myself. I learned it myself. That's where your ego comes in the third house. So this is why your intelligence works in the third house. Like a person who does everything on their own, figures things out on their own, maybe learns astrology on their own, is the third house. Not through a guru, but by themselves. Fifth house is obviously intelligence. What do you know? How do you comprehend things? How do you discuss things in the world? How much do you know about religion and spirituality and ancient text and mantras? Knowing mantras was the way to show your intelligence back in the day. So if you were really intelligent, you would know all the mantras, all the Gayatri mantras, because there's like literally 11 or 22 forms of Gayatri mantras. Different types of Gayatri mantras, Guru mantras, Rig Veda mantra, Atra Veda mantras. And once you knew that, people would be like, wow, he's smart, he's intelligent. That's why fifth house was intelligent, because intelligence improves with mantra. So the more mantra you knew, it was kind of like you driving a Bentley to show off to people. Oh, look, I have a Bentley. It showed your status. It showed your, mark into this world. Back 5, 6, 7, 10,000, 15,000 years ago, when you knew mantras, you were like driving a Bentley. Like, yep, I know my stuff. I'm the shit. This is why the intelligence, this is why Buddha Aditya Yoga becomes important. And now many people say like, well, over 48% of people will have Buddha Aditya Yoga. What about that? No. Again, first house, third house, fifth house, ninth house. These are the houses of intelligence, learning, okay, and dharma. So in the sign of Virgo, sun is very much about our work ethics, very much about putting in the work into the house that you are, that is transiting in, meaning you will become much more focused towards those things. You will put on, you will look at it critically. You'll become very critical about those things, like, why am I doing this in this way? Why can't I do it in this way? Okay, let me change it. If, let's say, sun is transiting your seventh house, you'll be quite critical of your spouse, your relationships, what needs to be improved in a relationship, what is missing in a relationship, how things need to be happening. So in such terms, you want to look at those placement. And then we will go on to Jupiter being in the 7th house in Libra. And especially in Chitra Nakshatra. Chitra is a nakshatra related to designing, photography. It's Chitra is about photographs and pictures. Wherever Jupiter is in your particular house, first of all, is bringing a lot of balance in that house. Like it's kind of like it's purifying that house and balancing all the unbalanced things. Because Libra is a very unbalanced sign. It's supposed to be unbalanced. That's why it's Libra. It's scales. Scales are never the same. Scales always have some ups and downs. So one thing will be up, the other thing will be down. Okay? What Jupiter does, Jupiter is like balancing it out. Because it's a sattvic pure energy. A sattvic energy will always balance things in life. Tamasic will make it up. Rajasic will make it down or up. But sattva balances out. So wherever Jupiter is, you're going to have a clean state. You're going to improve things in there. You're going to balance things in there. So from your moon, whichever house Jupiter is transiting from the moon, those things will be happening for sure, whether you like it or not. Those are the things that are going to happen. Because it's from the moon. It is your past life record. It's your past life prarabdha karma from the moon chart. What is to happen is going to happen. Then, from the ascendant is what you are going to want to do. Like, I want to do this. Should we do it? Nah, forget it. We'll do it next year. The thought came in. You discussed about those things. It was your choice if you wanted to do it or not. From the moon, you just can't help it. It is going to be happening. So that's why you want to understand these two charts. But they're very important because here's the thing. When a planet brings, especially like Jupiter, which is a planet of prosperity, whenever it shows prosperity in a house and your intelligence says, hey, wow, I think I want to do something. I want to improve this house. You will not just think and not do something about it. You will do something about it because it's like how a body always wants sugar, salt, and fat. Without these three things, we will not, forget even surviving, we will not have any interest in eating food. The reason why we eat food is because of salt, sugar, and fat. Same thing happens with Jupiter. Jupiter represents fat, sugar, and salt. And because it's like you're hungry for 5 days, or you've been hungry for a whole day, which is equal to 1 year, which is equal to one transit of Jupiter. Somebody now brings you food. Like, here, I just brought you like chole bhature and dosa, or I just brought you, a steak. Here, A1 sauce with it. You're telling me that you're not going to eat it, even if the opportunity is here. Most of the time, your lust for food will be like, yes, let me do it. From the moon, if Jupiter was transiting in a certain house, you will not be able to survive without eating it. Right now, it's your choice from the ascendant. That's how you want to understand this. It's my choice. Maybe I want to do a little bit. Maybe I want to eat just a little bit, and that's it, because I'm on a diet. But still, I want to, because I see, my brain sees fat, my brain sees sugar, my brain sees, salt. Okay, maybe a little bit. But from the moon, it's like, I'm on my last breath because I haven't eaten for 20 days. And I see something, I'm going to gobble it down. It's going to happen. So, and especially in Chitra, we become much more photographic about those things. Like, we tried arranging those things, whether it's our health, relationship, home, our learnings, our teachings, our career. We become very technical about those things. We analyze things very technically towards those houses. Then You also have Saturn in the end degrees of Jyeshtha Nakshatra in the sign of Scorpio. So Saturn represents our karma. Saturn represents our discipline and structure and organization. What Jyeshtha does, Jyeshtha disturbs that energy for Saturn. Like here in Scorpio, whatever you are trying to manifest, whatever you're trying to find transformation through, whether it's from your moon sign or the ascendant, you're going to have enemies. You're going to have to fight a battle there. It's going to test you over and over, because remember, Saturn is routine, repetitive things. Jyeshtha brings out a lot of jealousy from other people. Jyeshtha will bring about even blackmail and secretly people co-opting against you. The people who is represented by Saturn from the moon or from the ascendant or its Karkavastha, like in your karma, you will find people who are jealous of trying to do something. Now, on a mundane level, that means everybody's going through this, right? This is why you have chaos in the world. Especially with Saturn transit, everybody has a certain thing. You know, like, let's say this mass shooting happened. And there's something happens in India. There's something happens in Japan. Everybody feels like they were just backstabbed. Everybody just feels like, what is against me right now? But on a more personal level, this will bring about more in your personal life. Like the people that are represented by Saturn in your particular chart, the people that Saturn represents, like paternal uncles, servants, subordinates, people who are under you, working class people, may try to take those advantage of you. And Saturn, as you know, represents like metal, iron, coal, steel. Saturn also represents precious metals like gold. Saturn definitely represents gold, because remember, gold is formed in long periods of time. Saturn represents time. Saturn represents things that are slowly formed. So diamonds, Saturn. So many people say, oh, Sun is gold and Jupiter is gold. That's signified by them as well. But gold is really constructed through Saturn. So here, what you can also deal with is that you may have to give up some precious metal. You may lose some precious metal. If you have, let's say, invested in precious metal or something, they will fluctuate. It can, like, that investment can backstab you in a way. But once Saturn, so let's say I'm going to change my software date. Okay, so around the 27th, Saturn enters the nakshatra of Moola. Okay? On 27th, Saturn enters the nakshatra of Moola. Moola is a nakshatra related to, like, destruction, right? It's related to breaking things. It's related to going deep into things, going to the root level of things. And especially in Moola nakshatra, Saturn actually does quite well, because here what Saturn will do, your karmas, it represents your karmas. Your karmas are now taking you deep to the root level of what you're supposed to be doing. So whatever you're doing, you're going to go deep to the root level to understand it, to the core. And remember what I said just last time when Saturn entered Moola nakshatra. And it was so funny. When Saturn entered Moola nakshatra, that's when I started my studies under Dr. Arjun Pai with nakshatras. Saturn is going to come into the Moola nakshatra again. Majority of the people will find themselves being attracted to the hidden knowledge, the dark knowledge, occult, mysticism, tantra, black magic, white magic. Somehow, some way, you will find that interest. Like, this is going to be like society. Now, whichever house Saturn is transiting under, from the ascendant or the moon, you're going to go deep towards those houses. You're going to deal with some deep-rooted issues related to those houses. So let's say if it transits your 5th house, you're going to have to deal with some deep-rooted issues related to your children, related to your learning. In the 9th house, you'll have to dive deep into some issue, some deep-rooted issue related to the father. Now, obviously, as you know, Saturn does very well in the 3rd, 6th, 10th, 11th house, and 8th house, and 12th house. So it's what it does, especially in these houses. Saturn takes the roots, the bad roots, and takes them out. Like, it's about taking the roots, throwing it away. Because remember, Saturn represents life and death. It's the karka of the 8th house. So when it comes into the Moola Nakshatra, usually what Saturn does, if there are weak roots or a plant that is weak, it'll take it out and throw it away. So a new plant can grow. Better roots can come out. So this is going to be a period where you may restart something by cleaning it out completely. Remember, Moola is destruction. So you may destroy something completely and grow something better there. So let's say you were working on your PhD and you were studying under one mentor. And you're like, you know what? It's been 5 years and I have not really came to the conclusion. My thesis is not there. You will completely wipe that out and you'll try to look for a new university or a new mentor or some new thing so you can really grow your plant of your PhD better. And so metaphorically, it'll transit into many things. Saturn in the 6th house can have somebody take out the roots, like take out their enemies. Whatever enemies were causing problem, they'll take the roots out, throw it away. In the 3rd house, you will find a brand new way of communicating in your life. The way you were communicating, which was not getting anything done for you, you're going to get rid of that and throw something new in there. But Moola is a nakshatra that is deeply connected to the cosmos. This is a nakshatra deeply connected to the cosmos. Because it's happening right at the galactic plane, right where the black hole is. So a lot of people get interested in the cosmos with the Moola Nakshatra. Like there's this surge. Last time I believe Saturn was in Moola Nakshatra, a lot of astrologers from India started coming to United States. And I think during that period as well, I think this was like mid 80s. I think that's when also B.V. Raman started coming here. You have Narendra Desai coming here. K.N. Rao first came during that period. Jeffrey Armstrong, also Kavindra Rishi, one of my gurus, came on my original channel. He was learning in India. He started bringing the Vedic astrology into the West. So a lot of actual great occultists and mystics started started taking the roots from one place and started planting the roots into the other. So there will be this surge of people wanting to learn more astrology, learn more occult, go deep into this occultic science, mystical science. Even the non-believer may actually start believing in it. And remember, we're going through this ascension process, so every single transit of major planets becomes very important because they represent something that is like breaking away and going upwards. So this Moola Nakshatra energy is somehow, whether it's going deep into the roots, but it's going to take the person higher while trying to study the roots. Okay? But as you know, like small planets like Moon and Mercury, they're going to move very, very quickly. And then you have your Rahu and Ketu in Cancer and Capricorn, as I explained in my last video, how Rahu individually loves Cancer, because remember, Cancer is about drinking the nectar. It's a water sign. Rahu's job was, Rahu became Rahu because he was drinking the nectar. He an nectar of immortality. So Rahu feels immortal in Cancer. And it's so funny how, according to some charts, United States has Sagittarius or Aquarius ascendant with Rahu. Wait. Was it Sagittarius ascendant? Yeah, with Rahu transiting in the 8th house. One I saw with Aquarius ascendant. That's why I'm so confused about U.S. chart as to when it was. Either it's Aquarius or Sagittarius. And with this Rahu in the 8th house, definitely shows all the turmoil that is happening because the United States is in Rahu Mahadasha. Rahu is a very unconventional planet. Right when Rahu Mahadasha started, the unconventional president came in, Donald Trump. And 8th house is all full of surprises. Goodies and the bad karmas come about. So we all have to deal with it. That's why I felt that the Sagittarius one made a little bit more sense. But again, Rahu, Ketu are in Cancer, and Ketu is in Capricorn. So our actions, our karmas, are really helping us understand our past, because especially our past karmas come alive. Because remember, Ketu is a planet of past. It represents the deep-rooted hard drive of the past. When it goes into the sign of karma, the sign of Capricorn, whatever the past karmas that need to be paid back, need to be earned, come out with Ketu. How good or bad it is, well, for that 4 or 5 things have to be seen. You have to see your particular chart, if there's a planet that they're going over, what dasha you're going through, like Vimshotri Mahadashas, Chara Dasha, and also Yogini Dasha. Like especially I'm seeing that with Rahu Ketu, Yogini Dasha becomes very strong, and Kal Chakra Dasha with Rahu Ketu, excellent. If you don't know anything about Kal Chakra Dasha, just use them for Rahu and Ketu purpose, and you will immediately get great results out of it. So you have to look at all of these things to see what type of karma is Ketu is going to unveil to you. Okay, so this was my wait, am I still recording? Am I still on? My video is not showing anything. Am I blabbing for no reason? Can anybody tell me? Do you guys see me? You guys can see me? Yeah, I know it's blank. Why is it blank? What the hell? Videos unavailable? Okay, that is stupid. Oh my god, don't tell me I just wasted my 46 minutes here. Okay, let me look at this. Hold on, guys.